Give you a chance as well. Did you think that comment went too far?
No, I mean, not at all. I mean, I thought it was a little interesting that she made a comment about the fact that Sarah Huckabee Sanders has been noted several times for having, quite honestly, gone out before the American people and said stuff that was not truthful. She actually kind of gave her a backhanded comment. Not backhanded compliment. I would actually call it a compliment by saying she had a perfect smoky eye. And a lot of women I know from following a lot of makeup YouTube videos try to aspire to get that perfect smoky eye, and she does a very good job of it. So I actually think she did not make any comments about her weight or her looks or anything else. Just said, like, hey, she takes like the ash of her lies and turns it into a perfect smoky eye.
And to that point, and Liz, I'm going to give you a chance to respond as well, but just to that point that Atima was making, obviously Michelle Wolf was facing a lot of criticism today online. In fact, our own Mika Brzezinski criticized her as well, making references to the fact that she should not have attacked the way Sarah Huckabee Sanders looks. Michelle tweeted out, "Why are you guys making this about Sarah's looks? I said she burns facts and uses the ash to create a perfect smoky eye. I complimented her eye makeup and her ingenuity of materials." Is that a justifiable explanation there, you think, Liz?
I think it's probably the best pushback she can offer from a PR and communication standpoint at this point. But no, it's not. I mean, there are a number of problems with this. First of all, let's start with the premise that while writing political comedy is extraordinarily hard, the idea is you're supposed to singe or toast, not burn, right? And I think she totally missed the mark with regard to that. But let's also note that it's not just the smoky eye comment. She also made an allusion to a fictional character in a book who is a lesbian softball coach, and she made that allusion in reference to Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Now, you know, in order for comedy to be funny, one of the things that I think has to apply is there has to be a dose of truth or something, a kernel that sort of rings true in whatever that's said. I think that's a pretty hard thing to say that Michelle Wolf hit in terms of her mark here with regard to that comment. And very clearly that is a comment that is about Sarah Huckabee Sanders' looks, and it's not a compliment. It's also extremely hypocritical that we're hearing from somebody who is of the left sort of lesbian, fat lesbian jokes, you know, when supposedly we're not supposed to be making those.
What the fat lesbian joke was?
Well, I think you should probably read The Handmaid's Tale. It's all over Twitter.
I've watched it. Well, she called her Aunt Lydia, and she called her Aunt Lydia specifically because the aunts in The Handmaid's Tale work very hard to uphold the regime of the Gilead, which is against women's rights. So that was how I took that reference.
Well,
that's not how
50% of this country is taking that joke. And I think that if
50% of this country probably hasn't read The Handmaid's Tale, but okay.
That's okay. 50% of those who have are not taking it that way, and if you go on Twitter, that's amply evident. And I think that that's beside the point. If you're supposed to be writing a good comedy routine, you better write jokes that people can understand, and don't think that you're calling somebody a fat lesbian if you're trying to make a different point. With regard to the smoky eye, if I can just say one thing on the smoky eye front, you know, as a Republican woman, we constantly deal with people who are saying that we're all about the cute appearance and the pretty makeup and none of the substance, and we're just fact-free and we're stupid and we're all dumb bimbos. And so maybe she's trying to be complimentary about smoky eye, but she's got to understand that, again, for a bunch of people in that audience, that comment doesn't sound like she's saying, wow, gosh, you're really, really good at makeup. Can you please teach me how to do good makeup? It sounds like she's saying, you're just really another idiot conservative bimbo.
I think she was saying,
oh, hey, you're really good at makeup.
Liz, I got to say, though, the first part of it was about lying, and that's why she gets the smoky eyes, not about the fact that she's really good at putting on makeup. In fact, she used it with the Maybelline
she manages
line
to tie it together. If she'd made just comments about lies, you know, there still would be controversy here. But the reason that she's gotten herself into trouble is because she went way far over the mark here. And I think it's amply evident that she did. You know, I'm not somebody who's generally a big defender of this administration or people in it. But, you know, I got to be candid with you. When I read the remarks this morning, I was like, hey, the basic test of a comedian is what they said funny. And it wasn't funny. It was stupid. It was contrived, conjured up, overly reaching, and frankly, a lot of it was actually offensive. So, sorry, but she kind of did a bad job.
I think it's like hilarious that there's all of this pearl clutching about how offensive it is when there isn't a whole lot of pearl clutching about what the president, the guy in the Oval Office, says on a regular. She is literally reflecting back what we are getting from the Oval Office currently.
With all due respect,
comedians have done for the last several years.
to shut it down.
talking over each other, and I know this is obviously, there's a lot of different perspectives on this. Let me give Elena a chance to jump in with her thoughts. Go ahead, Elena.
Well, I was just going to say, Eamon, you brought up what Mika tweeted this morning, and I think that's a really good example of what a team is trying to point to. So the president has tweeted in the past about Mika's appearance, and she was someone who came out against this last night, against what Michelle Wolf said about Sarah Sanders yesterday. She said, you know, I've been at the butt of these jokes. I've been attacked in, you know, this type of thing before, and it's not fun to be in that situation. It's very painful. And I think that that's something that, speaking to Atima's point about the president, there are some parallels. But at the same time, I don't think, you know, this is a dinner about, it's supposed to be about celebration of the free press, about the First Amendment, and of course, these controversial comments that always come from these comedians who come every year. That's what it's about. But it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be about that. There's students who were awarded scholarships last night, and of course, you know, this night's, sometimes they're celebrities. It's made about something else, but it shouldn't be. And I
feel
don't
like
think
the last couple of years, it's lost a little bit of that celebratory feeling, especially about the scholarships. I think there have been some suggestions about how to remedy that. Will be interesting to see what happens in the weeks and the months afterwards. Elena Treen, Atima Omara, and Liz Mayer, thank you very much for